What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel, Danny FYR, Find Your Reason. Today we're going to be looking at another fine time from the Howard Stern world. So today it's going to be Sal Governale, who will be getting interviewed by the fine Rachel Fine. So we're going to have a look at that today, because some of you have been really enjoying the fine time videos, so I thought we'll have another look. And Sal's one of the wackier ones as well from the Howard Stern show, so I hope you find this interesting. Oh, I didn't even do my intro. I'm Danny B, aka Stan, aka whatever the you want to call me. Right, now that's out of the way, let's get on with it.
Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staff, whack-packers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now, when the guys at Howard TV first conceived the show, my guest today was one of the first names that popped up as a must-have. Now, it's not because of any one particular thing that he does, it's because he has utter and complete verbal diarrhea. You may love him, you may hate him, but you certainly know what his penis looks like. His phony phone calls are instant classics, and his least favorite number is 143. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sal, the stockbroker Governale.
Rachel Fine!
No, Governale. Oh, we're not falling for that. Let's just okay, sit down. Not falling for that again.
Fresh and warm.
Sit down. Are you ready to answer some fan questions?
I am ready. I'm ready for anything that you ask me.
Fantastic. Can I keep your eyes in this general direction?
Yes.
All right, first question comes from JM on Twitter. He wants to know, how did you feel when you got hired by Howard?
Extremely excited, Rachel, but at first, to be honest, I thought it was a prank because Gary pranked me 5 years prior. You know, they got me pretty good on the show. I was working on Wall Street, and I was actually that day writing jokes for Artie Lang because he was doing the Donald Trump roast. And I was kind of bummed out, you know, that Win John's job just ended, the great Richard Christie won, which was the greatest thing to happen to the show. And I got a call like, hello, you know, Howard was thinking, we'd like to give you a shot here. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, I got invited into the show, and it's been 7 years later. So it's been great.
For some of you that don't know, Sal, he was a stockbroker on Wall Street, but he used to ring into the show and do prank calls, and to the producer, Gary Baba Booey, they call him, if you don't know the Howard Stern show. He used to do prank calls to him and call him a horse-toothed jackass and all that. I mean, you need to watch the Howard Stern show, but it's really funny. But that's how he ended up getting a job. He was just a prank caller who worked on Wall Street at the beginning.
The same without you.
Oh, thank you.
Next question came in from Facebook. This is from John R. He says, F, marry, kill, Richard, Howard, and Robin, and explain your reasons.
Okay, well, definitely marry Richard because I love him, and he's my second wife. I would probably fuck Howard because it would make for great radio. Robin, you won't believe what happened to me last night. What, Howard? Sal fucked me up the ass.
Oh my God.
And I would, unfortunately, because of the game, have no choice but to kill Robin.
That hurts.
Sorry, Robin.
That's crazy. Sorry to hear that. What's wrong with him?
Only because of the game. Only because the game gives me no choice but to do it. Okay.
Excellent. Moving on.
Is she dead yet?
She is dead. Next question is from Joseph M. on Facebook. He asks, what do you want to do once the Stern Show ends?
You. Every
That's
night.
so sweet.
As long as Richie Wilson doesn't kill me.
You're going to have to clear it with Richie.
What do I want to do? I want to continue to write with Richard Christie, put shows together, comedy, perhaps work for a television show like Jimmy Kimmel, certainly pursue stand-up, and just continue within that vicinity in the entertainment industry in some capacity.
Sounds good. Maybe you'll be the next Ronnie Munt.
I said,
We'll have to do a fine time with Ronnie as well, because he isn't half a character. So we'll do one with him at some point in the future as well, if I can find it.
Be the next Ronnie Lund.
I said entertainment.
Next question is Kim S. also on Facebook.
Kim S.
She says, Sal,
Yes.
tell me one thing you love about your wife. Really love, no jokes. Can you?
Yes, of course. My wife is a spectacular and awesome mother. Really, really great. That's one. I could tell you a few.
Give me another.
I think she's absolutely beautiful. I think she has a
I'll
great
agree with
personality. And I also think if it wasn't for her, 80% of my material would be out the window. She always says to me that, you know, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have anything. And to some point, that's true. You know, the price that we pay for that is a different story.
Look at this. Shot him in the ass with a paintball gun.
But it's certainly the truth. She's really good.
She's a good source of your comedy.
Yeah, she's got a good sense of humor.
So romantic. Next one also from Twitter is from Roger. He says, how did you ever pass the Series 7 exam?
I studied every day. I actually made it a job. I got up at 9 in the morning and I went to my kitchen table and I stayed there till 5 p.m. And the only time I took a break was at noon, like I took a lunch break and I would put on The Price is Right during my lunch break. And I watched The Price is Right and then I went back to studying and I studied real hard. I crammed it all in and I got an 86 first time out.
Nice. Do you think if you took it again today?
I don't know what that means, because with me being in England, so
it would take some
I
time,
don't know
but I can certainly pass it again.
Don't know what that exam is.
Next question also from Twitter is from Stacy. Stacy says, is Gary still eating black and white cookies with crumbs running down his chin?
Well, I would have to say yes, I am. I love them.
Look at
There's
that.
nothing better to put-
That's a mask of Gary Bababooey, who they always take the piss out of. He's Howard's main producer. Watch this mask.
Black and white cookies with crumbs running down his chin.
Well, I would have to say yes, I am. I love them, and there's nothing better to put me to sleep quicker than a good old batch of black and white cookies right after I'm done playing softball, boy.
He's off it.
Sorry to wake you up.
Easy,
Next one
Mark.
came in from Facebook. This is from Scott M.
Oh, Scott.
From Scott. Sal, what do you do all day other than the prank calls?
What do I... Well, that's a good question. We do song parodies. We listen to listener submissions. We put bits together. We put games together, like the Debbie the coming game today. We also write when people go out on the street. Rich and I actually go on the street a lot, so we're constantly coming up with new concepts for the street, like Occupy Wall Street, like going to Harlem, talking about topical topics there. While the show is on, during the course of the show, I and Richard also send Howard jokes and media during the course of the show through Will and Steve on the computer. We submit jokes for other people as well, like Evil Dave. When George Takei comes in, we write the announces for him. So constantly doing stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of work behind the scenes, what you don't see, like. But Howard, these are sort of the main characters who Howard Stern used to have around his studios. Some of them are still there to this day, and a lot of them have gone nowadays.
Yeah.
Jose N on Facebook says, has there ever been one call that you really loved but couldn't play it on the show?
Yes, there are quite a few, and there's one in particular that we really love. It took about 6 months to produce. It involved many characters on the show, like Wood Yee, like Craig Gass doing his Gene Simmons impersonation, and we just couldn't play it. This call was so good that Gary reached out to this particular person. They do have a product that they sell as well, and even gave that person the opportunity to come on the show and be interviewed about it, provided that we could play the prank call. Nah, still didn't happen. And, you know, there are a lot of great prank calls that we just can't play. People say no, and that's it. No is no. Everything that we do, we get a consent for. And if we don't get the consent, we can't play it.
What percentage doesn't make it through?
I would say lately it's been like 40-70 in our favor. About 40% does not make it through. 40%.
Do you recognize that 40 plus 70 is more than 100?
Oh, my God, I just realized that.
I did not.
40-60. 40-65? Yeah.
Can you go back to the Series 7 question?
See. Don't answer wrong.
Michael
Oh,
G
God.
tweeted us.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Sal, is your hair growing back with a fake propecia?
Feel it. What do you think?
It actually looks good. It looks pretty full.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it before. So
Well, it was called Propecia, and I got it from India. I went to this website online because Propecia is very expensive, and I can't afford it. So I looked online, and I received this Indian Propecia called Apecia. And I tried that for a little bit, but I was getting some wacky side effects. So I stopped that, but what I'm doing now is I'm doing Rogaine twice a day. I do the Rogaine foam. Get right in the peaks, rub it in, go to the back. How's the back look?
it looks good.
Yeah, fill it up there.
Looks thin there, like,
And then, and just the opposite on my bowl.
just like, look,
Rub it
a
in,
little
go to the
thinning
back.
out
How's
there, like
the back
salt.
It looks good.
Yeah. I fill it up there. That's it.
Don't
And then,
blow smoke
and
up
just
his
the opposite
ass.
of my balls and cock. It's nair. Gets all the hair out. So bald here, full there. It's a match made in heaven, ladies. Match made in heaven.
Next is from Live and Uncut on Twitter. If you had to choose either your wife or Richard to live with for the rest of your life, who would it be and why?
Wow, that is a great question. Sorry, buddy, but I'm gonna have to live with you for the rest of my life.
You pick me?
Do I stutter, shithead?
Thanks, honey.
I'm gonna. Well, I've.
His wife, when she seen this, she'd have went mad with him. It was a couple of years ago now on the show. He was having marital problems, and it was brought up on the show and everything. And there was this big thing, a whole thing about it anyway, that was on the Howard Stern show. So I don't think his wife would have been too happy about that until go back.
But I'm gonna have to live with you for the rest of my life.
You pick me?
Do I stutter, shithead?
Thanks, honey.
Well, I've had my wife for quite a long time. I've known my wife for 16 years now, and I've only known Richard for 7. So to be fair and to balance it out, I have to give him at least 9 more. So, yeah. Welcome aboard, babe. You're in.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome, sweetie.
I want to thank Sal for answering all the questions that you, the fans, provided. Keep sending your questions in via Twitter, Facebook, email, and video submission. And remember that this is your show, so don't screw it up. Until next week, I'm Rachel Fine, and I hope you had a fine time.
I know I did.
Thank you very much for that.
Camera's off.
Richie!
No, Rich.
Right, anyway, that was Fine Time with Sal Governale of Howard Stern fame. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'd recommend just to type up Howard Stern if you like comedy and stuff. I mean, it's a radio show, but the comedy in it, some of it is just gold, So I'd recommend watching some of the Howard Stern shows if you don't really know who he is and what it's about, because I was like that at first about it. I mean, I'd heard of Howard Stern for years, but it was only a few months back that I started watching some of his shows myself, and I found all these characters and just thought they were absolutely hilarious. But that channel that I got that clip from there was called Hi, I'm Sal Governale. It only had a couple of 100 views, so if you want to go and have a look at his channel, that's up to you. But please like and subscribe to my channel. We're going to try and do a few more Fine Times with a few more characters out of the Howard Stern show. Most definitely Ronnie Mund is the next one I'm going to try and find, because he's funny as. But anyway, for today, well, not for today, but for this video, I'm out. I'm Danny B, aka Stan, aka whatever the fuck you want to call me. And until next time, peace.